Radiant team ban. Reserve time.
So whenever he shouts his name.
Reserve time.
Seemed to be a little bit more of a hard hitter, but he just benefits so much from that extra armor, and I'm just a fan of early mech in general. I think more often than not it really works out well unless you have some sort of a pocket strategy with split pushing going on. They'll go ahead and grab themselves a Disruptor, and then MYM will pick up Lich with their 4th pick.
Yeah, they went right into that Lich now. I mean, you talk about Cloud9 wanting to beat teams with their unusual lanes. Well, Lich is the king of the laning stage with the sacrifice, so
yeah,
probably a good hero to pick up against Cloud9, and always just a good hero in general because of how good he is in the laning stage. You can put him, have him helping out the mid lane, the off lane. I don't like the Lich generally as a safe lane support, just because especially if you're against a traditional offlaner, because he doesn't really do much there. You're much better off spamming that sacrifice against the enemy solo mid, who's very level dependent, or against their carry hero.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And one of the problems with Lich is, yes, he gives you an early edge in the laning phase, but if you start to fall behind as a team, maybe if you take a bad team fight in the mid game, he doesn't really help your team once you're in recovery mode. He's not the biggest playmaker support. With the way the sacrifice works, it's sort of a slow and steady, we're going to get a little experience edge, but you only really see that edge if the team works well together and doesn't kind of feed unnecessary kills or take a bad team fight. So. Yeah. And also his ult, I still think the Chain Frost is just a little bit weak right now, and there's not a lot of setup for MYM, which makes me believe Chain Frost won't beat.
Everyone always every time I see like a game with Lich, like I'll hear the casters talking about, even I as a caster talk about like, oh, you got to get that Lich level 6 for the Chain Frost, or they don't want to fight Chain Frost is on cooldown. But every time I see Chain Frost in a team fight, 9 times out of 10, it's not bouncing, it's not really doing much.
Yeah,
it's such an underwhelming ulti, mostly because of how slow the projectile moves, and also because. Like, one of the things when you get an Ag Scepter is it increases the cast range, I think. What do you want a longer cast range for? It's just more time for the enemies to split up. Like, honestly, if I'm playing a pub game, I go Blink Dagger and Lich just so I can cast Chain Frost from melee range, because then they can't split up in time. Like, it's one of those spells which just the slow projectiles. The Aghanim Scepter should make the projectile zip around.
I totally agree. I think that would make it so much more potent, make Ag's actually viable on Lich, and just make him a lot more scary. But we'll see Cloud9 go ahead and grab a Luna. MYM did ban out the Morphling, probably a smart call. They've been running that a fair bit, and they'll just go back to their roots. Probably an Eternal Envy Luna. So does that mean it'll most likely be a Sing Doom here?
Yeah, could well be. Unless we see Doom go towards the offlane, but Batrider is the Bone 7 hero. This guy, he was the one starting the Mask of Madness build on this hero, and loves to even goes for that boot to travel rush a lot of the time. So often doesn't even go straight Blink Dagger, but we'll see if he's gonna stick to that traditional build of his where it goes boot to travel then Blink Dagger.
So a pretty solid roster for Cloud9 overall. Dazzle and Disruptor together. With those two supports, you do lack a little bit of the hard crowd controls. You know, there's no Nyx Assassin, there's no Bane with a really solid stun, so that is one thing that they lack, but two very scary supports. Disruptor with his positioning tools, his semi-lockdowns with the Static Storm and Kinetic Field, and Dazzle just works really well with Luna. There's always that statistic I like to go back to on this patch, where Dazzle and Luna have a pretty high win rate when paired together, but neither of them have a particularly high win rate by themselves. So they're just a potent combo. Most of it, we assume, comes from the weave, and then in the late game when the bouncy glaives are going crazy, you've got a lot of physical damage, a lot of minus armor, and the synergy is just kind of there. So all in all, I think a pretty well-rounded draft.
Is there like a big sample size for that, or is that just like a...
It's decent. I haven't checked it in the past week or so, but it's at least like 50 games or so. Okay. It's solid enough, and it's something like a 70% win rate that they have together versus the like 52, 53 individually. So it's pretty significant, and it's not just one team that does it either. It's a sample spread among a multitude of teams. But there we go, Centaur. A very tanky team for MYM with Centaur and Lycan. Yeah, so they got I'm surprised they got the Centaur when they had the Nyx already. So it looks like we may see Nyx mid or Centaur mid.
Yeah, I'm thinking Nyx mid. Maybe they're putting Doom mid even, because it is going to be up against a... so they'll put Centaur mid against the Doombringer, melee on melee, so... Yeah. Is a possibility, although I haven't seen Mutter as a solo mid, but... Hey, well... Still possible, I guess. Yeah, interesting. And MYM, they've changed things around a little bit. They have two, quote, stand-ins here. Link and Rise are playing with Crit, Unicorn, and is it Ace on the Nyx? He still hasn't loaded in. I'm forgetting now. I believe it's Ace. Link and Rise have been playing on the team, at least for the last 2 or 3 matches of theirs, as stand-ins, but they seem to be somewhat permanent stand-ins. Yeah, potentially new roster members, So...
a little bit hard to gauge the roles, I guess. I mean, some of the heroes that we know, but Unicorn, has he been traditionally the mid player?
He was traditionally the carry player, but I think he's more switched over to the mid player with Rise on carry. Rise has been playing the Naga Siren. Sometimes Rise will go mid on the Naga Siren, but it's like he's doing it because that's like their carry role. So
right, okay.
Rise is, Rise is traditionally, you go back to the old SK Dota days, back when on his previous teams, he was like known for his support play, playing a lot of Enchantress,
right,
and the jungling supports. But it seems since playing with MYM, he's been almost purely carry.
Yeah. So all right, it will be Link playing on the Lich, crits on the Bane. So yeah, you're probably right about this Centaur mid, and then they'll have Ace in the off lane playing on the Nyx, and most likely the safe lane farmer will be Rise on the Lycan. So very interesting here.
Yep. Oh, well, we'll see what Cloud9 look to do here. It is going to be that Sing Sing Doom, Bone 7 Batrider, no surprises there. We'll have Pylai playing the Disruptor and AUI 2000 on the Dazzle, and then finally Eternal Envy, not even trying to pronounce whatever alias he's using now, playing the Luna. He's got a pretty cool Luna set.
Is that the one from the Year Beast, or no? Is this the other one? I get him.
I don't know what it's from, but it
looks cool. Yeah,
I just love, awesome. I love the portrait too.
Yeah,
I think I just like it because of the portrait, to be honest. I honestly I never seem. I mean, this one I can notice significant difference to, like mostly because of the mount, but I'm never that big on cosmetics. So to me, that's just like, oh, it looks like Dazzle. It doesn't look like a different kind of Dazzle, or oh, it just looks like a Doom.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like a different kind of Doom, but I only noticed this Luna because of the different portrait.
Yeah, you know, it's funny how some people really like looking at cosmetics and other people just like, yeah, I really don't care. I'm sort of somewhere in the middle. I don't care that much, but every so often I see like there are some really cool Doom sets where I'm just like, man, that makes me want to play Doom. He looks so cool right now, but Sing Sing, he's going to go standard. All he's got is a common set of bracers on his Doom. So we're going to keep it standard for us here today.
Yeah. Lycan looks like he's trying out for like a movie role or something with this cloak of his.
Oh yeah, I like the Lycan hairdo, the comb over Lycan.
Yeah. Is it? Comb of the Great Grey.
Yeah.
why do you call it comb? It's like, oh, there's not a comb in his hair. It's been combed.
Oh, that hairdo is crazy. It just makes him look old. He looks too like old and sophisticated to be the Lycan. I think of Lycan.
Well, he's got the jacket to go with it. So.
Oh yeah. What did you say? He's going to be on a movie?
Yeah, he looks like he's trying out to be like, this could be Sean Connery as Lycanthrope. If Dota 2 was a movie, Sean Connery would play the Lycanthrope.
It looks to me like a robe that Santa Claus would wear. Every time I see it, I think it's a Christmas cosmetic.
That's true.
Yeah.
Definitely goes with the old man thing.
Yeah, yeah. So Pylai will start out in the mid while Sing Sing tries to grab a good creep to devour in the jungle, and he'll be able to pick from the Dark Trolls or the Alpha Wolf, it looks like, and then he's going to get some Mud Golem spawn. So an Alpha Wolf, not too bad. That'll up his last hitting, his damage, and get that crit, of course. And a pretty standard strategy here from Cloud9, but always nice to get your support, a little bit of extra experience, and then give Doom a small edge once he moves into the lane.
He's going to hang around even to stack this one. So this is just efficient use by Cloud9. Gets Disrupt up to a fast level 2, and Disruptor can actually benefit decently from having the fast level 2. It means he has Thunderstrike as well as the Kinetic. Well, Kinetic Field, he didn't go for Glimpse, so it means he just has 2 spells for when he does go look to support a lane.
Yeah, this is usually you see Glimpse, that kind of primary ability, but I guess Pylai switching it up a little bit here. One of the things about Thunderstrike that a lot of people don't realize is it's not about the damage, but that first level value point gives you vision while it's a debuff on your enemy. So. Yeah. That first value point is particularly valuable, not just for the damage, but giving you that scouting intel so they can't fog you. Yeah,
yeah, you want them to start running away, then you glimpse them back. The damage is really nice, so it used to only be the 3 ticks, now it does the 4 strike. So the level 1 damage is actually pretty insane, 160 magic damage.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Not many spells do that much at level 1.
Yeah, very true. So Bone 7 in the off lane here. And everything looks pretty standard on his front. Taking a look at the ward situation, he does have an observer down right here blocking this difficult camp. And there is a sentry down, but just barely out of range, so he'll get some nice intel and also block that camp. So kind of a double win right there. MYM do have their initial ward down. Give him some bottom rune coverage. And Bone 7 seems to be doing all right to get things out of the gate. He's partway into level 2, creep kill under his belt already. Yeah,
I really like this observer, the one you just mentioned, because you can see it stops them from going for the double pull. So something that as a dire offlane you want is the creeps pushing to your tower. If they think they can double pull, your wave gets pulled back. Just single pulls don't generally deny the creep wave. As completely missed the first blood there.
Oh, I should have bailed you out, my friend.
That's alright, that's my fault. Luna gets a kill on the Nyx Assassin, and that's, well, Cloud9 striking first.
Yep, I caught the tail end of it. Basically a classic case of the 2v3, Hastery on the Disruptor that he got at the 2-minute mark. Rotated up, and they were just able to pick him off. One last Lucent Beam did the dirty.
Tower is under
Right,
attack.
bottom lane Unicorn. He's looking to zone out Bone 7 as much as possible. Bone 7 already hitting level 3.5 though, so not really. They haven't managed to do a good job of actually preventing this offlane from getting much of this lane. You look at Ace, he's hitting level 3 soon, but he's already been picked off by playing too aggressive in the offlane.
Yeah, and Lich has just been hanging out in the top lane here, of course, being played by Link. He's now level 3, using that sacrifice to his heart's content, but sort of like I was mentioning, even though Lich has been denying experience from Eternal Envy, the fact that Ace has already conceded a death and EE got the kill, it's kind of made up for most of the experience that Lich has stolen. So he has an impact, but I see Lich as just a kind of a lackluster hero right now. In general, just because of right there, it's pretty easy to negate the damage he's done so far in the first few minutes.
Yeah, exactly. You slow down the Luna farm a bit, but then that just you get one kill. You still getting enough farm on Eternal Envy that it doesn't really matter enough that you pick the Lich. Eternal
Envy is suffering in CS though. He only has 10 last hits, and if you compare that to the 20 of Doom or even the 22 of Centaur, EE definitely has some catching up to do. And that First Blood bonus goal is actually a much needed boost, and he's still only number 4 on net worth. So maybe that Lich is having a little bit more of an impact, or I haven't been paying attention to this top lane as much as I have the mid, but maybe he's just been whiffing on a couple of these last hits here and there.
Mid lane, we do have Doom. I mean, looking pretty good as far as CS goes, like you said, and well, something Cloud9 are doing a great job of, as they always do, is getting a lot of those stacks off in the jungle. That's going to allow Batrider to rotate out of this bot lane when he's ready, farm this big giant stack, and get himself a lot of good farm out of that. Yeah, it looks like it's a good 3 stack right now, so I think it's even 4.
Is it a 4 stack?
Yeah.
I always have trouble telling when there's a lot jumped on top of each other, so you're definitely right though. It's always good to see here, coming into the 5-minute mark, they've got a huge stack set up already, and that just makes Bone 7's life so much easier. It takes a little bit of pressure off of him in the lane, and he knows that, okay, in a couple minutes here when things get rough, I can just retreat into the jungle. That'll be an easy kill. And up top, Lich, he'll get picked off once again. I get another kill they made. Looking for Ace possibly as well here, but with the glimpse already used, they're not going to get another one out of this, so back off for now. Oh, and MYM, well, this offlane is just not working for them. The dual lane, like, it seems to, like, dual lanes are nice and all, but as soon as that disruptor comes in, he spends a lot of time stacking in the jungle, then he comes in a bit later on, and then you find the kills. They're trying to force out a Carapace here on Ace. Envy just constantly cancelling the Lucent Beam. Wow. And Ace going to throw an Impale here. He needs to time this Carapace for the Lucent Beam. He does do so, but Envy, he fake pumps it, so he'll get away, but Envy smartly doesn't actually use the Lucent Beam. Yeah. So still Nyx struggling quite a bit now. Not only have both him and Lich conceded a death, but actually, never mind, I take that back. Nyx is doing pretty well in CS. He has 14 last hits right now. Luna only at 18. Yeah, so that's the Lich impact to just deny the wave back and give him safer farm under his own tower. They are looking for this Lich here. Stampede has been used. Let's actually try to look for a kill mid lane, but Sing's going to be okay. I like actually ulting for it, but Sing survives and so Bone 7 has now retreated to the jungle. So he's going to start playing with this stack. He'll stack it one more time, and then he will start to clear it out. Meanwhile, up top, looks like a fight could break out. Ace actually takes a fair bit of damage, a shadow wave to the face, but they'll retreat to behind the tower and be just fine. This tower won't be alive for too long, though. EE starting to land the last hits, and I think it'll at least get into deny range here. Or no, perhaps not. No, I don't think he wants to put in deny range. It's not going to work to his favor. And AUI going to go back, do another pull here. If he wants to maybe go for a push, he can just go for a little single pull, get a big creep wave up. Bone 7 has farmed that giant stack, gets up to 2.1k gold. Wow. Just a little short of his blink dagger. That's a bit annoying because like you want your blink dagger, but you also want to get a smoke. So I think he's gonna heal up and maybe just he'll wait for the 30 seconds to get that blink dagger gold and maybe smoke with the disruptor. Yeah, disruptor buys the smoke for him. There you go. So it'll be about 5 gold, and that's a pre-7-minute blink dagger on Batrider. That's pretty darn speedy, considering he hasn't been involved in any kills, no towers have fallen. That's really darn quick. Yeah, absolutely, and now he's going to go straight into looking for a kill. Maybe the Lycan mid who did use his ulti, so that's on cooldown for another 20 seconds. Yeah. And he does have to be a little bit concerned for. Now, a blink dagger did come out for MYM as well. Centaur just picked his up. That's a wonderful Centaur timing as well. He doesn't have much else under his belt, just boots of speed as well as a magic stick. Yeah. But he can start moving around now as well and try and be a counter-initiation tool. The smoke's already been used by Pylai and Bone 7. It looks like they will take heed to your advice and rotate towards the mid lane. Unfortunately for them, though, Lycan has moved into the jungle. Though he may show himself. No, they'll just go ahead and rotate towards the top lane. Yep. Batrider, Firefly in, he'll get vision just soon enough here. Probably
Oh, he's going to go on the Nyx Assassin, gets him before the Carapace. You know, Lucent Beam coming just yet, needs to actually get this kill. They're not going to do so. He goes down first himself. Going on that Nyx Assassin, possibly a mistake here. We're going to see an Eclipse get thrown out here, looking for the Centaur. He can't actually blink right now. He can in a second. Going to throw the Stampede. They did kill the Lich. Glimpse going back in now, and Centaur directly into 3 heroes here. Does pop off a Stomp double, and she'll bring down AUI 2000 with him. Makes the best of a bad situation. 3 for 2 trade. At the top lane, Cloud9 only coming out slightly ahead of that one, but they'll get a T1 tower as well. Disruptor, Pilot Die actually getting the last hit as well.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy from Cloud9. I don't know if that was a miscommunication or what. Looks like they'll go on to crit here. Kinetic Field just barely off the mark, and that'll be enough for the Bane Elemental to make it back to that Tier 2 tower. But Batrider just getting a little bit overzealous there. It seemed like Dazzle wasn't really in a great position. I don't think he got a heal off before Batrider went down. Certainly didn't use that Shallow Grave. He was too far back. It's only level 1, so that 550 range harboring Dazzle's impact. I think Bone 7 didn't need to die first there if he had been a little bit more patient, perhaps.
I mean, going on, I think they thought they could kill the Nyx in the lasso so he wouldn't get a Carapace off, but once he survives the lasso, Carapace stuns the Batrider. It sets up an easy Impale, and the Impale kills Bone 7, so...
Yeah.
I think Lucent Beam was just on cooldown or had just been used to get him a bit lower, and, well, they didn't quite have the follow-up damage to get the kill, but hey, 5 kills to 2, Cloud9 still the ones with a decent lead here, 3k gold in their advantage. A bit less than 1,000 experience, so mostly gold going their way, partly because of the tower, also because they've been stacking neutrals a lot, they're stacking ancients. Something Cloud9 always do great is just stack, stack, stack.
Yeah, now Sing Sing on the Doom, he's actually #1 on Earth. He's been doing a good job in the mid lane, 53 and 15 in terms of last hit, so it looks like that Alpha Wolf Critical Strike pack leader's aura has done wonders for him in the mid, and he will go Arcane Boots into mech, so he's going to go for that build that I'm a big fan of, the more kind of early support-based Doom, very aura-based, and we'll just let his abilities carry him into the mid game. We'll see actually Batrider take out a double stack here in the jungle, and Unicornal.
I think Centaur got most of it.
Yeah, sniped most of them, but yeah, exactly right. So still, Bone 7 getting a little bit of experience. Yeah, not too bad. And
his lasso is back up, so may see him pick up another smoke soon. Disruptor picks up the smoke himself, so I imagine Disruptor maybe meets up with the Bat so they can look for a kill with this smoke. Bat just happy to stack, though. Of course. It's Cloud9 Dota. AUI 2000, the stack lord, and then you've got, well, Pilot Die and Bone 7 doing a great job as well.
Yeah, I mean, it really makes a big difference. Just looking at the graphs, the experience actually isn't in favor of Cloud9 as much as I would have thought. It's only a couple hundred. So MYM are doing well on that front, but Cloud9 are just finding better farm around the map. And like you mentioned, a lot of that is from stacking. Once they clear out this big ancient stack here on the Dire side, it looks like double golems, and I think it's a 4 stack. So once they clear that out, that'll give them a nice little gold boost. But we do see another smoke used, Disruptor and Doombringer.
Yeah, they're smoked up. Mech is online, so
good time to fight.
Yeah,
and they also have the Doom ultimate.
Unfortunately, an Invis Bane may reveal... Oh, he leaves the lane just in time.
Oh yeah, that could have been bad. We'll see if they can find someone. Unfortunately for Cloud9, there's no one in the lane. Unicorn is wandering his way over, and they may bump into him here. Yes, they will. There's the Doom ultimate used, and Pilot Die will glimpse him back. They don't know the crit is inbound. He'll reveal the invis, but it just won't be enough. Static Storm comes out, and now this Bane is in big trouble as well. Looks like an easy double kill coming out for Cloud9. He'll throw a Brain Sap, but it just buys him seconds, and Sing Sing grabs that kill.
Yeah, this is Cloud9 just starting to snowball now. Few too many easy kills going the way. The Bane could have stayed invis. I think he thought maybe he could save the Centaur, throw out a Nightmare on the Disruptor, prevent that glimpse, but he just got caught out, and now they just rotate into this pusher. They've got Envy here, who's got a couple points in the Lunar Blessing, gets the extra damage, and he's going to be able to bring this down pretty fast. They're actually going to see a TP towards the mid lane. Disruptor, oh no, cancels it.
Yeah, what was great about those kills down bottom is that wasn't even everything they had at their disposal. They didn't use the mech, and uh-oh, down bottom we'll see a lasso used on Link. That's an easy kill on the Lich. He's generally pretty easy to take down, and thought they were going to engage on Owie in the mid. But that'll be just another free kill, and a tier 1 tower as well. This time they use the mech, and still abilities online. Eclipse is ready. Lasso was used that time, but Cloud9 are just having a field day at this point.
Yeah, that was just a bit too easy, getting the kill, getting the tier 1 tower to follow, and such an unnecessary kill as well. And this is where Lich, you may have chained Frost, but it's such a lackluster teamfight ulti. It really is. Like,
unless you have like a Faceless Void or a Black Hole or some sort of big team setup, then that's the time that I say, okay, Chain Frost can be devastating, but on its own, I don't know.
And very rarely do teams even pick these big teamfight stunning type heroes. Like,
yeah.
It just doesn't really happen. Even something like a Tide Rabbit I don't feel is enough, and not that we see much Tide anyways, but just because you stun them, by the time the Chain Frost hits, they just split in different directions. You need like the lockdown of a Chronosphere, as you said.
The Lycan will grab himself a double damage rune. He'll move into the Radiant Ancients, but I haven't seen MYM do much in the way of stacking. It has been cleared out a couple of times, but not stacked, and that's just a matter of efficiency. We still see Cloud9 with this huge Ancient stack on their side of the map. Haven't cleared it yet, but they're just sort of hedging their bets a little bit, if you will, keeping that money around when they need it, and they'll clear it out once Luna feels ready. EE is only level 9. He did go for the Helm of the Dominator first after Power Tread, so a slightly more greedy Luna build, but can certainly get away with it here as it is 8-2, and Cloud9 will just group up with this team fight presence and start pressuring the tier 1 tower mid. Given that they have a mech and there isn't one out for MYM, they should feel pretty comfortable forcing team fights right now.
Yeah, they have nightmares up thinking this was. Oh, he doesn't get the Centaur spun off. Perfectly timed Disruptor ultimate. He gets doomed to follow it up. Now Ryze in all sorts of trouble. He's on the front lines. Can't even get a shapeshift off. Centaur gets glimpsed back as well. They'll try to finish him off here. He's still doomed up. The poison touch coming out here. Batrider wants to chase him down. Flame break back. One more right click. That'll finish him off there with the Doom helping out as well. And Vayne in the front line.
Boy.
Tried to go in on Envy, it looks like, but Envy just too tanky, too durable. And is this going to be a complete team wipe? It sure looks like it's Zairi.
It could be.
Oh,
there's the glimpse. See you later, Link. That will be a 5 for nil exchange. They get the tier 1 tower, and I think this tier 2 will at least take some pretty heavy pressure. Just brilliant execution from Cloud9. We saw that beautiful static storm as soon as the Centaur blinked in. He couldn't get the hoof stomp off. Then he got doomed. Centaur was just taken out of the fight. He was neutered from the get-go, and everything else just fell into place. A nice eclipse from Envy. The Chain Frost actually took some decent bounces into the creep wave. Was almost enough to finish off Eternal Envy, but Aoi 2000 on point with that shallow grave and kept his Luna alive. Very well done across the board.
Really, really nice team fight plan. But everyone just does their role right, and they know exactly when they can fight. MYM, I think they just felt kind of desperation there, because they've got a Lich ulti, they've got the Centaur with a Blink Dagger, they've got like a Lycan with at least Treads and Vlads. Like, they're not getting that much stronger anytime soon, so if they can't fight now, when can they fight? But
yeah,
I'm not sure what the answer to that is. Like, maybe with Bane Fiend's grip, but all they hear is just get countered. There's like all this silence and lockdown coming out from Cloud9 with the Doom to take a hero out of the fight. You've got the Disruptor ultimate, preventing even Lycan from getting his ulti off, which was a bit of a misplay from Ryze, but in general. Just had better position.
Yeah, it was a great place to force that fight as well, because it's a reasonably small choke kind of on this high ground here, so that makes an easy static storm where MYM have to either commit into the static storm or they have to just back out and kind of get split. We see Ace with Vendetta on, moving about the dire jungle, perhaps looking for an opening, but Cloud9 will have a lot of reinforcements nearby, and that won't give him an easy opening. But like you mentioned, Cloud9, they're all on point. Every single one of these heroes had an ability that they used at the crucial moment, whether it was Eclipse, Shallow Grave, Doom Ultimate, Static Storm. Everybody was just on point. MYM didn't seem to be quite prepared for that. I mean, Centaur didn't even get his ultimate off because he got doomed straight away. Stampede would have been maybe not a game changer, but could have been huge right there. Bane doesn't even have Fiend's grip yet. He's only level 5. Yeah,
it was kind of what Lycan almost needed in the front lines, because he got caught in the Disruptor ultimate.
Yeah.
Static Storm, that's the word I'm looking for. I always forget what spells are called. He got caught in that without his ulti on, and the extra movement speed from a Centaur ulti may have been able to get him out of there, but wasn't there for him. And now Cloud9 get further and further ahead, and they've got a 4-star from the Batrider, starting on a BKB with an Ogre Club. Not going for his signature Boots of Travel Rush. I'm sad. We don't get to see Bone 7 Rush Boots of Travel anymore. Tranquil Boots are just so good. The 90 movement speed when they're not broken is so nice, and even when they are broken, they're still better than other boots. Like, as far as movement speed goes. Not to mention you get the plus armor.
Yeah, the armor is what's really nice. And Tranquil, they're just a good value. They're rather cheap compared to some of the other boots as well. So, just all around, a solid item. They're hard to pass up. BOTs are when you're really feeling rich. Cloud9 will group up, take out the top tier 2 tower, and they may have to trade a tier 1. Perhaps not down bottom. Bone 7 will be there to defend. Unicorn gets lassoed back. He does burn the Stampede. That port comes in from Eternal Envy. Ace inbound as well. And they may be looking to turn this around. No, he'll just blink out. And Ace, he'll have Vendetta on for plenty of time. He'll grab that double damage so they know he's inbound. Is there any detection? No, there's not. They're just going to settle for Unicorn. Nice flame break, but he'll use an even better hoof stomp. And that'll be enough for him to get away as he blinks one last time.
Yeah, gets the double blink escape. And now it's Cloud9 look like they're picking up Roshan here. They want to go for this, I think, realizing Centaur Stampede's on cooldown. Centaur just not in fighting condition here with after all the damage he took, so yeah, they're right in thinking like they can get an easy Rosh here. The mech comes by as well. They've got the Dazzle Shadow Wave. This will be easy pickings.
And MYM just don't have a scary teams in terms of going into the Rosh pit. There's no Naga Siren, there's no Black Hole, there just isn't any big AoE, ultimate, or teamfight presence that Cloud9 should be afraid of right now. So, like you said, an easy Rosh, and if anything, Cloud9 have the advantage in the pit with that Static Storm kinetic field. MYM do not want to fight in that small choke area.
Yeah. They make their way out of there. With the Aegis now, they can just sort of go from objective to objective. And as far as objectives go, there's just the one tier 2 tower left at the bottom lane. So they're going to be probably pushing high ground fairly soon. Like, Ryze has got 3 counters like him, but at this point, I don't know. The Necrobook's not going to help you defend all that much. It's almost an item you'd rather just, at this point, where you'd almost rather get maybe a BKB, but with Doom Lasso on the other side, like, there's still so much to deal with a BKB like.
Yeah, there's no easy build for Lycan in this game. Like you said, Necro and BKB are kind of the core items. He could go for damage, but in the mid lane, crit.
Suicide.
Yeah, nice suicide there. Cheeky little play. A small positive, but still.
Yeah, he's still dead. Whichever way, honestly, it just prevents Cloud9 from getting what, like 500 gold, but split between 5 heroes, maybe.
Yeah, not a big deal, but still crit on point with the Nightmare. Tier 3 in the mid, under heavy pressure. There is a glyph available for MYM here, and they might be able to make kind of a last stand. They'll burn the glyph, but really not at an opportune time. Very little damage was coming about it, and won't mitigate all that much damage, to be perfectly honest.
AUI's got urn charges. They're going to heal him up, and they're ready to start pushing this high ground once more. Batrider goes in, Link Lasso going to catch out AC, and that's going to be a dead Nyx Assassin. Doesn't even get a Carapace off. Doom was used on the Lich, which means there's no chain cross here. Clip's going to come out. Will finish off crit, it looks like. Does do so. Nyx immediately buying back, but I don't think he's going to be able to turn this fight around. There's just no way about it. Cloud9's Envy taking a lot of damage, but he's got the Aegis still. He's not even going to go down. This Aegis not even going to be used here. He's just fighting, holding his ground, using the Helm of the Dominator, using the Dazzle Hills, and that's GG. They're going to tap out here, I feel. There's no way back in this game for MYM.
Yeah, that was just a complete massacre. Like you said, Cloud9, they barely had to use anything. I mean, they used their spells, but everyone's back at full health. They've got too much sustain. MYM unleashed everything that they had. There's the chainsaw point at the end, but pretty one-sided game there. Cloud9 made quick work of MYM, 19-2 and only 19 minutes of gameplay. MYM, it's not that they played particularly poorly as much as I feel like Cloud9 were just on point with their execution.
Yeah, Cloud9 just looking solid. And this is good news. I think they've got a best of 5 in like the D2